I've made it here to Wyoming, and before I leave Nebraska, I just want to say that Nebraska is one of my favorite states to ride a bicycle in. Highway 20 right here came into the state at Highway 20 and at Sioux City, and there's a 15-foot shoulder the entire way across the state. Pretty much all the little towns have camping in the city parks, and about 50% of them are free. The only town that didn't have a city park campground was Shoutout. There's such a big town. There's, you know, a dozen motels and a college and a Walmart and a private RV park. So I just wanted to point out again that Highway 20, you know, there's a big deal about Iowa, you know. I hated Iowa. Iowa's just a horrible state to ride a bicycle in. But Iowa is famous for RAGBRAI, which is an organized event that goes across the state in Iowa on a bicycle. And they get something like 20 to 30,000 people a year who ride RAGBRAI. And Nebraska also, and I've always wanted to ride RAGBRAI. I mean, since I've heard it, probably 15, 20 years. I think it's been going on for 35 years. But I've always wanted to ride RAGBRAI. Well, I'll never ride RAGBRAI, but I think next year I will ride BRAN, B-R-A-N. That's the bike ride across Nebraska. Only 600 or so people rode it this year. That's about average. But I really love Nebraska, and I would ride it. If I didn't have anything else to do, I would ride it back and forth across the country or across the state, because it's just nice. It's just a nice ride. But on to Wyoming. So I'm here on the first mile in Wyoming. Still on Highway 20. Here's what it looks like. At least there's a shoulder, but I'll tell you, I don't think a single car has passed me in the last hour. So it's pretty desolate. Pointing out here, this is the first little community. It's not really a town, but it's Tassel, population 18. But what I'm really trying to point out here is the elevation. I'm at 4,736 feet. At the western end of the state, I'm probably going to be over 8,000. So I got some climbing to do. I got mountains in my future. Next town is Lusk. Here's something interesting in Tassel. The first American Legion post number 1, is found right up here on the hill. Was found in 1919, and there are some big horse flies that are biting me. Was founded in 1919, and right after World War I. And it's kind of cool. Post number 1, American Legion. It's one of these little things that you'd never think of. Here's my first herd of pronghorn antelope sitting right there on the top of that hill. I don't know if I can zoom in or not. Pronghorn antelope are North America's fastest land animal. Actually, they probably give cheetahs a run for their money. They're really, really fast. And there they go. They just ran off the top of the hill. So I've just pulled into Lusk, and it's kind of interesting thing. There's a sign here that tells you about this water tank. I'm going to read it to you. It says this redwood water tank was built by the Wyoming Central Railroad in 1886. It was first filled by a windmill, then by other types of pump. And It stored water for the steam engines that pulled the trains. It is one of only 6 remaining in the nation. That's kind of cool. It's hard to believe that was built in 1886. Wow. But I'm going to go through town here, through the town of Lusk, and stop at the grocery store and maybe find a bite to eat. So it's just after 12 noon. I've had a little lunch, and now I'm going to take a break here at the Lusk Public Library. So I'm about 5 or 6 miles outside of Lusk. See, I climbed up pretty good here. And Highway 20 is a little bit different now. The first 40 miles of Highway 20 into Lusk, there was basically no shoulder, maybe a foot of shoulder, but only 3 cars passed me in that time. Now from Lusk west, the traffic has picked up considerably, but I got a 20-foot shoulder, so that's fine. I mean, if it's a little bit of traffic, you got a 20-foot of shoulder, you're okay. And while I was at the library in Lusk, sorry, I'm fighting a crosswind. I got on the internet. I transferred a whole bunch of files from my cameras to the computer, but I got a message from a guy called 50-Pound Mongoose, and he's a BMX rat out of Michigan. And on my last video, I think Nebraska Part 3, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I think what happened is he's overheated. See, I came up that hill and I'm fine. But anyway, so 50-Pound Mongoose, on my last video, Nebraska Part 3, I said in the description that if you have any bicycle related video, feel free to post it as a video response. And so 50-Pound Mongoose is going to do that. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is that if anybody has any bicycle related video, feel free to post it as a video response. I don't care if it's BMX, track bike, single speed, fixed gear, mountain bike, hybrid, 29er, I don't care. Whatever it is, you know, we are kind of a community here on YouTube and in the world of bicycle enthusiasts, and you don't necessarily just have to be a bicycle tourist touring to join into or to participate in the community. So 50-Pound Mongoose, your video response is approved. You check the water before you come up the hill. So I'm going to take Manville, and about 10 miles to the west of Lusk. And I'm going to stop here. It looks like there's a gas station right here. And look at this rainstorm. It's really coming down over there. I'll take a little of that too. We've got 44 miles to the town of Douglas. It's going to be a 90-mile day, which is fine. The wind has turned a little bit out of the east-southeast, so I'm getting a little bit of a tailwind on it, which is nice. And got some fun in this. I'm going to fill up my water bottles here because this is it. Come on, rain. So it looks like I'm going to make it past the cell. Let's come through. And without getting too wet. The problem is I'm right in the gust front. The wind has come up to probably 30 knots. It's hard to keep the bike on the road. I keep getting blown off. But another cell right here is dropping rain. This one, you can see. Well, we got about another 20 miles down here to the turnoff. Bad thing is the wind's coming out of the southeast, and the road is curving to the southeast, which means I'm going to be in a headwind. What do you do? Okay, this has stopped being fun about 10 minutes ago. It really is pouring down, and lightning and wind and everything else. So I just went through this second squall. Right here. And there was a time, it was horrific. There was a time where there was lightning on all sides and the rain was so heavy, visibility was down to probably 100 feet, just torrential. And of course the traffic, but it looks clear ahead. So maybe I'll catch a break. I'm 37 miles from my destination. So I just popped out here into the sun. Take a look at this. Look at that cell. I mean, that's a serious storm. Well, I can take my rain gear off because it's looking good this way. Okay, so check this out. It's the first sage that I found. Oh yeah, oh, I love that smell, especially right after it rains. So I'm about 25 miles to the east of the town of Douglas, and it's right here where Wyoming stops being super flat, and there's big mountains on the horizon. Probably can't see them well, but they're there. Beautiful, beautiful day. It's a long day, but it is a beautiful day. Just incredible rain, thunderstorm I went through, and just open rangeland. Wyoming is a beautiful state. So right over this hill behind me is Interstate 25, and I just popped over the top of this hill, and in front of me is basically not a single man-made thing on the entire horizon. Sun is going to be setting here in about half an hour, and it's going to be a wonderful show here. It's going to be a beautiful sky. I mean, it's just huge. It's very quiet. It's all sagebrush, and man, it's just very strong and just incredibly gorgeous. Tonight, you know, I can hear some traffic from the interstate, but that'll be gone here, or it died down pretty much by 9 or 10 o'clock. It's just wonderful here, beautiful. This is really the kind of camping I would prefer to do. I mean, I'll do like showers, but if I can get out, like, you know, I'm 200 feet from the interstate, where tomorrow I am riding on Interstate 25 here, and it's legal. I'm probably 8 miles from Douglas. I rode something like 85 miles, or maybe a little bit more today, and I just couldn't ask for a better place. It's just awesome. So just one more quick note here. I have a hole in my Thermarest mattress. I had it right here. And I only really have one option. Either not sleep on a inflated Thermarest mattress, or I'm going to give it a shot with the bicycle patch. I've actually done it before, so I know it works. So if you, I think the key to it is just use lots of glue. Which I do. So if you ever get to that point, and I don't know how that happened too, because this is the top of the mattress, and I always sleep with the top of the mattress up, so that if you ever do get a hole in your mattress, you've eliminated 50% of where you have to search, and I searched all over for that thing, and I'm like, how did I get a hole in the top? But that is a good tip. Whatever, like this, like the valve is right here, and the thermarest and logo is right there, and my blinky is on. But always put the bottom, kind of designate a bottom side to your thermarest or whatever inflatable mattress you have, and that way when you get a hole, because I had to put, you know, a couple liters of water on this to figure out where the hole was. But bicycle patches do work. So the sun's coming up, and I'm riding down Interstate 25. And here's what it looks like. Looks like they got a little bicycle path on the side. But it's not. It's just where they didn't put asphalt all the way to the end. Yeah, you got a 20-foot shoulder, rumble strip, and the weather is beautiful right now. It's probably in the high 60s. And I'm going to the town of Douglas. And I just camped in the open range, and I'll be in the town of Douglas here. Let's see, I'm 8 miles probably to the east, so I'll be there. And I'm looking forward to, yesterday in Lusk I transferred video files, and now I have like 90 video files. I don't know how I got 90 video files since Shadron, but I did. So I need to, that's usually the point when maybe I'm just talking more. But 90, when I get 90, that's usually when I need to stop and make a video, because usually it takes 30 to 40 to make a video, 30 or 40 clips, and I got 90, so I mean it's possible I could get 3 videos out of it. Anyway, headed to Douglas. It's a little overcast to the west. So it is my pleasure to present the 3-Wheel Journey Award of Excellence to Douglas, Wyoming. And I'm sitting here in Jackalope Square in downtown Douglas, Wyoming. And Douglas, Wyoming is getting the 3-Wheel Journey Award of Excellence because of the generosity and hospitality that the city has shown me since I have arrived just yesterday. I haven't done this very much. I haven't made a award of excellence for quite some time. I think the last one was South Bay RV Park on the shores of Lake Okeechobee. But this place is awesome. It is the home of the jackalope, and for you people who don't know, a jackalope is a cross between a jackrabbit and a pronghorn antelope. This is a pretty big jackalope right here. And remember, please don't climb on the jackalope. It hurts him. So don't climb on the jackalope. I wonder what he's like. Sounds like fiberglass. This is the city park here, or one of them. There's actually quite a few. A little picnic table pavilion. And just want to run down some of the features of this town. First of all, the city park are the Riverside Park, which is about 3 blocks away, offers free camping for a maximum of 2 nights, and they have probably the best shower facility, restroom facility that I've seen in a city park. It is truly outstanding. That's Riverside Park, right on the bank of the North Platte River. There's a Safeway in town, a grocery store. It's my favorite grocery store. The public library, which is right down the street, or maybe it's right down that street, I forget. I think it's down that one. About a block away from here, is excellent. And I sat yesterday and made a video, and I'm going to upload it today, and probably make the next video. And let's see what else. There's a KOA campground on, I believe, the south side of town. So if you, oh, by the way, the campground, the free campground is City Park. The city doesn't provide free Wi-Fi, but there were 2 unsecured Wi-Fi signals, and I was able to access the internet from my tent. So that's always a good thing. So here's the Riverside Park here in Douglas, and the park is excellent. It's right here on the banks of the North Platte River. The shower house right here, and just an excellent facility. I don't know how many, there's probably 15 or 20, I would call them campsites, but they're really picnic tables with a barbecue grill. I don't know what else you need. You got Wi-Fi, you got hot showers, water's available, electricity. So, Riverside Park in Douglas, Wyoming. Here's the Chamber of Commerce. Of course, you got the big jackalope. But here at the Chamber of Commerce, they got a great display of old trains. Behind this building, there's 3 or 4 more rows of cars. So if you like trains and big jackalopes, this is the place to come. Right across the street from Riverside Park, where you camp, is the Wyoming State Fairgrounds and Pioneer Museum. And it's the Pioneer Museum that I'm kind of interested in. I'm going to go check it out later today. I've heard it's top shelf. I'll put a link. I'm sure it probably has a website, so I'll put a link to it in the description box. You can go look at some pictures, or if you're coming to Douglas, this would be a good place to have a few rest days. So I'm here at the Douglas Public Library, and I stepped outside today for the Shoutout. By the way, the upload speed at the library here, probably the fastest on this trip, something like 2.3 megabytes per second. I mean, quick. So the library here is awesome. And today's Shoutout is going to Robbie Sage. His YouTube channel is Global Guitar Cycle. He's cycling around the world, and to raise money for the, I already forgot it, Hear the World Foundation. And he's actually making music. He's towing a bob and carrying his guitar with him. And he has a Facebook, a Twitter, a Bandcamp, and I mean, he's got it all. So go check out Robbie's YouTube channel, subscribe, and I think he's in Armenia right now. So go check him out.